Worried about gout? Check out Urol, the effective urinary alkalinizer for gout.
Good evening, this is KiniNews and I'm your host Camelia. PKR is playing a risky game in Sungai Buloh by dropping a veteran lawmaker for someone who used to be in MIC and was ordered by the Kuala Lumpur High Court to return 5.5 million ringgit he obtained through fraud. On top of that, Anwar and Rafizi have different opinions on the matter. PKR Deputy President Rafizi Ramli said he and the party's candidate selection committee wanted incumbent MP R Sivarasa to defend his Sungai Buloh seat in GE15. However, PKR President Anwar Ibrahim had a different opinion.
Saya juga boleh maklumkan bahawa memang ada perbezaan pendapat di antara jawatan kuasa calon dan saya dengan pandangan Presiden, kerana saya boleh umum terus bahawa saya dan jawatan kuasa calon mencadangkan supaya saudara Sivarasa dikekalkan. Tetapi Presiden Parti ada pandangan yang berbeza dan saya menghormati pandangan dan budi bicara tersebut kerana memang kuasa untuk menetapkan calon ialah kuasa Presiden dalam mana-mana parti pun.
PKR had previously announced it would field its Deputy Information Chief R Ramanan for Sungai Buloh. Ramanan was the MIC Treasurer General before this but stepped down in 2014 after the Kuala Lumpur High Court instructed him to return 5.5 million ringgit he obtained through fraud. At the time, he reportedly said he was appealing the decision and was willing to pay the amount to the plaintiff. In June 2014, Ramanan dropped his appeal against the judgement and entered a consent judgment with the plaintiff where he agreed to pay the 5.5 million ringgit. The announcement of Ramanan as the Sungai Buloh candidate prompted backlash from constituents. They urged for a different candidate or to retain Sivarasa, especially after BN announced Khairi Jamaluddin as their candidate. Rafizi said after considering the feedback they received, PKR has decided to continue with Ramanan as their Sungai Buloh candidate. As far as Rafizi is concerned, the eternal process within the party in reviewing their candidates has been exhausted. R Ramanan will be facing a heavyweight from BN in the form of Khairi Jamaluddin. Though the UMNO leader is more well-known than the PKR man, Khairi understands that in Sungai Buloh, he's an underdog.
Khairi Jamaluddin has shared his anxiety in contesting the pitch-black Sungai Buloh seat, where BN has lost 3 times in a row. However, BN supporters in Sungai Buloh welcomed Khairi enthusiastically last night. When addressing these supporters, Khairi repeatedly reminded them that Pakatan Harappan's candidate won Sungai Buloh by more than 20,000 votes and he is the underdog. He also confessed that he was feeling nervous before going to the event to meet the BN machinery.
Saya dah lama tidak rasa gemuruh dan nervous macam ini. Seolah-olah ini kali pertama saya bertanding dalam pilihan raya. Daripada rumah kediaman saya nak sampai ke sini hanya 15 minit saja. Maknanya boleh selalu datang kawasan lah. Tidak ada alasan. 15 minit tidak cukup untuk saya tenteramkan diri dan hati saya. Sebab macam Megat cakap tadi lah, ini bukan kawasan putih, malah ini bukan kawasan kelabu. Ini kawasan gelap gelita macam saya juga.
Sungai Buloh, previously named Subang, was MIC's seat, but the seat was lost to PKR Sivarasa Rasya in 2008. In 2018, BN lost in every polling district in Sungai Buloh.
Zaid has taken a hit at Harappan, saying BN will not do the things the coalition did when it came to power in 2018.
BN chief Ahmad Zaid Hamidi has lashed out at his political rivals. He accused them of peddling slander with regard to the purported letter of undertaking that UMNO candidates had to sign. Without mentioning Pakatan Harappan, the UMNO president said his rivals think BN is like them, dropping the court cases against their leaders right after winning GE14 and forming the government. This was an obvious reference to DAP chairperson Lim Guan Eng, who was granted a full acquittal in September 2018 from 2 graft charges. In 2020, after the collapse of the Pakatan Harapan government, Lim was hauled to court again over the Penang Undersea Tunnel project. The case is ongoing. Meanwhile, Zaid, who is also facing corruption charges, said after the change of government in 2018, BN leaders who were faithful to the coalition were oppressed, while those who danced to their tune were accommodated. According to the purported letter of undertaking, candidates pledged to support Zaid as the Prime Minister candidate, back in alliance with other parties to form a government and to support the dropping of charges and investigations against UMNO leaders. UMNO leaders have dismissed the viral document as fake.
With several prominent leaders dropped, UMNO will now need to manage disappointment and unhappiness among some of the members. However, Johor BN appears confident that when the time comes to campaign, all will do their part.
Johor BN Chief Hasni Muhammad today downplayed concerns over possible internal sabotage. This is linked to the dropping of several big-name parliamentary incumbents. Speaking to reporters at the State UMNO building in Johor Bahru, Hasni said all 3 party divisions at all 26 parliamentary seats have committed to launch their respective machinery ahead of the official campaigning on Saturday. He said some form of setback, disappointment and unhappiness are expected. However, he said with time, he believes that everyone will do their level best and proceed with their campaigns. On Tuesday, Tenggara and Kota Tinggi UMNO divisions came out to demand that their respective MPs, Dr. Adham Baba and Halimah Muhammad Sadiq, be retained as BN candidates.
Rafizi is leading by example by being one of the first PKR candidates to declare his assets ahead of GE15.
PKR Deputy President Rafizi Ramli has filed an asset declaration ahead of his contest in the Pandan parliamentary constituency. In a statement shared with the media, he said he has a wife and a 9-year-old child. He said he owned his house and that during his previous term as Pandan MP, he did not commit any breach that led to illegal accumulation of wealth or any other conflict of interest that would lead to him enriching himself, his wife or his child or any other family member. He shared that as of October 31st, his net assets were valued at 18.8 million ringgit. Just over 1.1 million ringgit was in savings and EPF, while 16.7 million was through his holdings in the Invoke Solutions Senior Berhad Company. Rafizi added that the asset declaration of PKR candidates will be listed on calonkeadilan.org starting tomorrow afternoon.
Nik Abdul Aziz Nikmat's children will not contest in GE15. However, the party says his legacy shall carry on in the work PAS does.
PAS has dismissed speculation that the party is looking to end the legacy of their former spiritual advisor, Nik Abdul Aziz Nikmat. This is after the party did not field any of his children in the 15th general election. PAS Deputy President Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Mat said it was the choice of incumbent Bacho MP Nik Abdul Aziz himself to withdraw from being nominated as a candidate this time. He said Nik Abdul withdraw from contesting to give way to younger candidates. He said PAS not fielding any of Nik Aziz's children in G15 has nothing to do with trying to end the legacy of the influential PAS leader. He said this is because for PAS, every candidate the party fields offers Islamic policies and fights to develop Islam in line with the teachings of Nik Aziz. He added that the legacy of the struggle is not about the individual, but the principles of the struggle.
GTA appears to have many Prime Minister candidates, perhaps too many. Now Ibrahim Ali says even he could be the coalition's PM candidate.
Parti Bumiputera Perkasa Malaysia President Ibrahim Ali today said that he too can be a Prime Minister candidate for Gerakan Tanah Air. Speaking at the GTA candidates announcement event, he said the coalition of Malay-centric parties and NGOs is not short of leaders who can lead the government, besides its chairperson, Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. Ibrahim, a former Pasir Mas MP, also refuted allegations that GTA was formed to further Mahathir's personal agenda to become premier again. Ibrahim's remarks came as part of his speech in response to claims that Mahathir wanted to use GTA as a platform to become Prime Minister for the 3rd time. He also threw shade at Pakatan Harappan chief Anwar Ibrahim, whose attempts to be Prime Minister had not been successful until now. Ibrahim first became an MP in 1986 when he won the Pasir Mas seat on a BN ticket.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.